If you've been living under a rock, well, you've missed a few things. If you haven't, then you've likely seen the ongoing shift in used PPE. Ryan, more and more, we're seeing teams turning to PPE recovery programs. As part of the Wastebits team, you'd know better than I would. First, is that a fair assessment? If it is, why are these programs growing in popularity?
So we work with a lot of companies, a lot of manufacturers who are looking to step up their sustainability game. Whether that's coming down from the top levels, or it's a regulation that they need to get in sync with, or it's their shareholders that want to see some more sustainability within their annual reporting.
Yeah,
They are trying to reduce their landfill use. Traditionally, a company will come by and take anything you want to give them within the legal limits and take it off to a landfill, and there you go. Well, there's a cost associated with that, and so what Wastebits is trying to do on two fronts is one, get less going into the landfill so that it's a sustainability powered initiative, but also it costs money to send that stuff to the landfill. So there are opportunities for people to have their waste go somewhere else at a lower cost.
when you lay it out like that, it makes a lot of sense. Awesome. Okay. So let's push a little bit further on what's possible then. PPE recovery isn't the only thing that Wastebits offers. So you guys have other programs. What other services are you seeing an upswing in usage on?
So yeah, our company was built when we were founded. It was a combination of people from the waste industry and people from the tech industry, and so we have a deep industry knowledge. People who have worked for some of the biggest names in waste are on our team, so they can walk through a facility and they can see right away, like, oh, this is, here's a regulation that is not being met, or here's a waste stream, are you just throwing that away into landfill? They're like, yeah. And we're like, oh, no, 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 like that can be sent
Right.
somewhere. You can get a rebate for that, or you can get paid for that, or there's a cheaper option where you can pay less than sending it to the landfill. So
Sure.
our waste industry experts can help find some of those issues. But as far as what we do wait, cradle to grave waste management. We will, from helping you at your facility with where you're at, kind of what your current processes are, helping to find some efficiencies, and then just saying like, hey, this here can be recycled. And whether it's universal waste, special waste, hazardous waste, non-hazardous waste, any kind of waste, there's nothing off limits that Wastebits can't handle, just because we do partner with a lot of people that, if we don't handle it, we have companies that we partner with that do handle it. So it's really a total waste solutions provider.
I got to be honest. I had an idea of what all waste bids did, but that is way more than even I knew about. And I feel it kind of ties into this idea that we've been seeing more of around sustainability. A lot of teams are, maybe shocked is too strong of a word, but they seem kind of shocked that so many aspects of sustainability lead directly to cost savings. Can you confirm that and maybe share a big win or a case study?
Yeah. Oh man. I would love to. Yeah, because it's exciting news. Because it's great because we'll have people walking through a facility, and for example, someone that we worked with recently, and I'm just going to keep everything anonymous because nobody wants to be
Right.
shamed for what's
Yep.
happening. But there was one company that they had, they were producing 120 cubic yards of wood waste per week. And they were sending that all to the landfill, and there's like these like wood shavings can be reused. There are companies that want them,
Hmm.
and so we help them to realize, okay, if you just, instead of sending all those wood shavings away, we can provide a alternative place to send them. And so they were sending it now to a mulch company. So it's not only not going into the landfill, it's going somewhere where it can be repurposed, and they're paying less money to do that. An easy example too that I like to say, that cardboard, for example. So you have a lot of companies that will have cardboard as a byproduct, and they can't, let's say level one is just take that cardboard that you don't need, throw it in the dumpster, goes to the landfill. There you go, it's part of your bulk waste process and cost. Or you can, you get a recycling dumpster outside and put all your
Hmm.
cardboard in that recycling dumpster. So that's like level two. You're still paying to get that recycled, but it's not going into a landfill. So there's some benefits there for your sustainability initiatives. and you're doing something kind for the planet. But level 3 is where we can really help them identify if they're producing enough. Like, okay, now what happens if you save up your cardboard and you bale it, so that you have like a certain amount, then a truck can come pick that up. Now you're taking that off to a paper mill, and you're going to be able to make money off of
Yep.
that. They will pay to take it from you. So,
Hmm.
we can, one of the great things about Wastebits, and I think I mentioned this earlier, is that we meet companies where they're at. So, if we take a look at where you are, that's the first thing, and instantly can be like, okay, now let's talk about how deep you want to go with this, because obviously we could go down to every little waste stream that you have, and try to find an alternative place for it. And sometimes that can be too tedious. So we'll start with the big wins. We'll say like, all right, this is a big win right here, easy, low hanging fruit. And so with some companies, we're in the process of like, gradually moving various things over time. But some companies want to come in and have an overhaul right away. They're ready for the big move away from the landfill. So we will do everything within our power to get them down to that zero waste goal. But yeah, again, it's just really trying to figure out where they're at, how much they're willing to do at this time to move towards that, and again, just really helping with the adoption on the floor. In some places, we have people boots on the ground, on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, coming through, ensuring the adoption is there. Because what's the point of coming up with a plan if it doesn't get enforced, or it doesn't find success? And if companies don't succeed, we don't succeed. So we're very heavily invested in making sure that everybody wins in this.
As soon as you mentioned cardboard, I knew you were going to say balers. I knew it because I've seen them. Fastenal has a bunch, and we've done a few outreach pieces on it before. The idea behind it is, I think, and this is kind of what I feel like you were hinting at, people don't think of resources as resources because we've been trained to think of cardboard as waste.
Hmm.
And you need to change the way that you approach some of the things in your facility, because everything, not everything, so many things can be a resource again. So it's good that you brought that up. I feel like we've had a good discussion. I really appreciate you taking time to talk with us today. You got any other things for me, or are we done here?
I mean, yeah, I feel like we hit on a lot of things. Like, I really wanted to just drive home that fact that, when we work with a company, we don't expect any kind of level of expertise necessarily
Right.
coming from them. I mean, the more they have, great. Some people
Yep.
have dedicated ESG teams, dedicated people who, come in, know all the lingo, know exactly what. But, some people, they really don't know where to start. And it doesn't really matter where you are on that spectrum. Wastebits is there for the beginners to the seasoned folks.
Awesome. Sir, thank you for talking today.
Great. Yeah, Kurt, thank you very much.